His question is, in this day and age, how to take on a guru, and who to accept as a guru, right? Now that, my friend, is an entirely different question. ये तो गाड़ी दिल्ली से सीधा बॉम्बे की ओर चल पड़ी. So then his question is how to, if somebody wants to make me their guru. First of all, as I've said earlier as well several times, you can get through life just fine, even your spiritual life just fine, without a guru. A person who embarks on an inner journey can awaken the inner guru, the guru with capital G. But if somebody can't help it and they feel drawn or connected towards somebody in a human body and they say, I want to make this person my guru, then of course each guru, they have their own requirements. I don't have any set requirements. I've made it superbly simple. My only hope is one day the disciple will be self-sufficient. One day the disciple will say, it's clear to me now where I'm heading. It's like when Neem Karoli Baba sent Krishna Das on his way, he retaliated in the beginning. In his own words, he said to Baba, what I'm going to do? For 6 years or X number of years I lived with you, and now you're saying go. Go where? Go to whom? Go to what? Baba said, I don't know. It's for you to figure out. And then he realized when he was there, he sang kirtan, the bhajans all the time. And he felt that that was his life. That he had voice with devotion, and that was enough. But the world is full of people, generous people, or put it this way, providence is large enough to ensure that you would get a square meal if you walked the spiritual path. So he went on in that direction and went around the world just singing Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, and Hanuman Chalisa and the rest of it, and just followed from there. So ultimately, gurus that encourage their disciples to always cling to them probably are not the right kind of gurus for anybody's spiritual growth. Secondly, and more importantly, difference must be understood between a guru and a teacher. A teacher would sit you down in a class, and a teacher would impart you lessons. A teacher will do a roll call. Are you present? Are you present? Are you present? And so on. That's not the job for guru. Guru's role is simply to put in touch with yourself. A lot of that happens without the physical presence of the guru. And if a guru is physically available, he's probably not the right kind. You know why? Imagine real light. And imagine the woods. Can the real light be devoid of moth, swarms of moth, going to it? No. Why? Because it's light, it will attract moth. That's the nature of the game. So the awakened one will attract the ones who are about to be awakened. Because you can light a candle from another lit candle very easily. Does that mean all gurus are awakened who have large crowds? Absolutely not. Because if you have cow dung, even that would attract a lot of flies. Right? But there's a fundamental difference between moth and flies. the moth will burn in that fire. And the flies will contaminate themselves, and off they go and contaminate everything else too. So crowds is never the criteria if somebody is good. That person is definitely good in marketing, for sure. They're good in promotion, advertising, and marketing. That's why there's a crowd sitting there. So there's a fundamental difference between a guru and a teacher. A teacher would sit you down and impart you lessons. A guru, no. A guru would give you a way of thinking, and a guru would give you a way which could be his or her way. And then you are to make your own decisions. And then the bond with the guru is there, so you, if you fall, you don't feel as hurt because you know you're not alone. If you fall, you don't lose your heart and you get up and you start moving again. So that the bond with the guru, the strength you derive from your guru is supposed to invigorate you so you can go right to the end, as opposed to stop somewhere in between. So to sum up, how can anybody take me as their guru? There was a time when I had somewhat of a strict criteria, and I realized I was becoming the biggest bottleneck by placing that condition on people. So now I've put a form online. Anybody can fill it. I go through every single application individually. There are more than 4,500 that I've gone through in the last few months. So I never take it for granted. And then there is a little message, video message, they just have to play it. If they're done with it, then they have to confirm that they understand what it means. And I read each confirmation myself. And that will never change. That will never change. So I know who's accepted and I know who wants to. And then there are my writings, my books and my talks and so on. And there is my own life, which, as if I were to steal from or borrow Gandhi's words, my life is my message, he said, when he was asked, do you have a message for the world? He said, my life is my message. So same is mine. And that's it. Ultimately, everybody should be just, I'm telling you, half the job is done if somebody is truthful in their lives. Truthful with themselves, with others. More than half the job is just absolutely done if somebody is honest and truthful. That doesn't mean you don't have the right to privacy. You do. But there is something called transparency. As long as you're transparent, you're truthful. The other person or other people may disagree with you. That's secondary. But at least you've laid the cards on the table. Look, this is what it is. And that's transparency. That's truthfulness in my mind. Of course, there are subtle aspects of morality and so on. But I feel when you are walking the path of sadhana, you purify yourself and it all kind of becomes clearer as you progress. And the rest is commentary. That's all there is to it.